Okay, so this is SOS, The Final Escape on the PlayStation 2. It's a really great game, very unique. Basically what's happened is there's been an earthquake and you've got to survive in the city, and there's aftershocks and stuff. And I'll read you what it says on the back. It says, when a violent earthquake hits Capital Island, the city is ripped apart, hundreds are dead, thousands are missing, and the streets erupt with panic as a fight for survival begins. As the tremors continue, your need to escape becomes more and more desperate, but your route to safety is filled with unknown dangers and terrifying obstacles. Dig deeper into the city and a horrifying story begins to emerge. This was no natural disaster, but the result of something far more sinister, and no one was ever meant to get out alive. A brilliantly unique, action-packed and dynamic adventure game. Scramble across the collapsing city in a frantic quest for survivors and safety. Face deadly enemies, tidal waves and other hidden dangers. Solve the mystery behind the earthquake and the devastation. And this game was made in 2002. So that's one of the characters from the game there. And yeah, I think the box art is quite nice. It's quite minimal. Usually I don't like minimal because I find that boring, but I think in this case it does work. You've got like a massive crack going through the middle there, which symbolises the earthquake and the aftershocks. Most of the cover is red, which I guess symbolises danger. And then you've got two characters out of the game. You've got a girl on the left, I can't remember what her name is, but the guy on the right, I think he's called Greg, and he's basically a photographer. So let's take a look inside. There's the disc and the manual. And yeah, I don't really think there's anything that much interesting to show in the manual. You've got like the story there, it's talking about the year 2001, then the year 2005. There it's talking about the game interface. First person view, you can go into, most of the game takes place as third person view, but you can go into first person view if you want to, but you can't, when you're in first person view you can't actually move around. You can look around, but you can't actually move the character. Game system. Actions, run, climb, traverse, transportation. Characters. Keith Helm, Karen Morris. I think she's the one who's on the front of the box art. Greg Back, Kelly Austin, some more characters there. Then you've got like a map, the game map, items that you can get in the game, assembly, disassembly, because you can assemble and disassemble items in the game, and survival tips. So yeah, so let's take a look at SOS, The Final Escape on the PlayStation 2. This is a really great game. I think I'd even say that it's one of my all-time favourite games. It's just so unlike anything that I've played before, so it's like a breath of fresh air. And it's a fun game anyway, you know. Basically, you just got to make your way through the city. You've got to survive. There's been a massive earthquake. There's aftershocks, so sometimes like when you're playing through the game, there'll be an aftershock, and you can either press a button so he'll brace himself, he'll basically kneel down, and this will protect him, because if you run in or walk in when there's an aftershock, sometimes he'll fall on his arse and he'll lose some health. But sometimes though, if you do brace yourself, like a big boulder for example might fall on your head, so sometimes it's better to actually run. There's also a button that you can press to make him shout hey as well, and this is useful if there's any survivors around. If you know, if there's someone trapped underneath rubble or whatever, they'll shout back, and then that will give you an idea of whereabouts they are. So yeah, not only do you have to survive in the game, not only is it an adventure, but you've got some action as well. Not like shooting guns or anything like that, but like I said, you've got like buildings and stuff crumbling. You've got aftershocks, you know, so you've got to kind of dodge things. There's a few puzzles as well, but the puzzles aren't really that challenging. It's also a platforming game as well, because there's a lot of platforming that you need to do in the game. Like, for example, jumping from ledge to ledge, walking across like really thin beams, having to balance on them, climbing ladders, stuff like that. So as you can see on the screen, there's 2 meters. There's one that's called HP, which is a green bar, and then there's another one which is called QP, and that's like a series of blue boxes. The QP is for your thirst. It's how much water you've got in your system. You know, as time goes on, he'll get more thirsty, and as he gets more thirsty, the boxes, the blue boxes, will disappear. Well, they'll go empty, if you know what I mean. You don't want him to get completely thirsty. You don't want all the blue boxes to go empty, because then he'll start losing health, and that's what the HP bar is. It's his health, if I've not mentioned already. So basically what you need to do is you need to drink some water. Now, there's 2 different ways of doing this. You can either find a tap somewhere and drink water from the tap, or you can drink water from one of your water bottles. Your water bottles won't last forever, they will end up empty, so you can fill them up at a tap. You can also save your progress at taps as well. As far as your health bar is concerned, when that gets low, you can use a bandage or a first aid kit or whatever to fill it back up again. Now, interestingly, there's no actual jump button, but the character will jump if you make him run towards a ledge. As soon as he gets to the ledge, he'll jump. If you make him walk off the ledge, then he'll drop off it unless the ledge is really high. Then he'll fall off it, but he'll grab hold of it and he'll pull himself back up. Now, throughout most of the game, your character carries a rucksack, and at some points in the game, you'll come across other rucksacks which are bigger, so you can swap it over. And your rucksack basically holds all your inventory, so it holds like first aid kits, water bottles, you know, all sorts of different things that you can pick up in the game. And some of the items that you can pick up in the game, you can actually take them apart, and then you can use those parts to assemble new items. You can also read documents in the menu. You can also read documents as well that you've picked up. You can choose what compass you want to use, because throughout the game there are compasses scattered about, and when you pick up a new compass, you can use that if you want to. You can wear like hats and glasses and stuff like that you find throughout the game as well. So you can enter and exit buildings. Every time you enter or exit a building, you will get a loading screen, but thankfully the loading screens they don't go on for too long. You know, the loading times aren't that long at all. They're quite short actually. I've basically cut out the loading screens from this gameplay footage, so that's why when in this gameplay footage, when you see the character go into a building or exit a building, you don't see any loading screens. 3 different difficulties for this game as well. You've got easy, medium and hard, and the game has quite a lot of replay value as well, because not only is it a fun game to just play through again, and you know, it's such a unique experience, but there's also different paths that you can take in the game as well, because at some points in the game you'll come up to a point where it's like there's a fork in the road. I don't mean literally, I'm talking, what's the right word, is it metaphorically? Like you know, like something might come up on the screen, and like a box might come up on the screen and there'll be text in it, and it will say, do you want to go, like, this is just an example, do you want to go this way or do you want to go that way? So if you choose this way, then that would take you down a certain path. If you choose that way, that would take you down a different path. So when you play the game again, you can choose a path that you didn't take the last time to see a new part of the game that you've not seen yet. As I've said, there's also things to collect in the game, to find in the game as well, like compasses which you can use, and hats and glasses and stuff like that. And there's several different endings to the game as well. I think there's 6 or more endings, and there's a photographer in the game who takes pictures, and depending on the paths that you take in the game, that will make a difference to the pictures that you actually take. So when you play through the game the first time, you'll be able to actually, a gallery will come up in the menu, and you'll be able to look at the pictures that the guy has taken, but there'll still be some pictures that are missing, and so to get those missing pictures you need to play through the game again differently. The sound in the game, it's good. The music is fine, it's okay. There's not much music in the game. It's quite rare that you will get music playing while you're playing the game, and when you do get music, it doesn't really last for that long. The graphics, technically, they're probably about average for the PS2, maybe a little bit above average, but stylistically, if that's the right word, they do look pretty good in my opinion. They totally remind me of the way a typical Dreamcast game looks. It's got like that kind of Sega arcadiness to the way they look, if you know what I mean. So I do like the way the graphics look. And yeah, I just think it's a really great game. It's fun. It's you know, it's really unique. It's so unlike anything else that I've played before. So if you do if you like the sound of this game, if you want to play something totally different and you come across this game, then I definitely recommend picking it up, because you can get it for quite cheap. On eBay, the cheapest it goes for is about £5. If you find it in a shop that sells second-hand games, you'll probably be able to pick it up for about £1 or £2. And yeah, is the game a challenge or not? It can get quite challenging in places, even on the easiest difficulty. I've played through the game on the next difficulty. I've not played through it on the hardest difficulty yet, but I've played through it on the next difficulty, and I couldn't really notice any difference in the difficulty. It didn't really seem any harder. But yeah, so really great game. I think I'd go as far as to say that it's one of my all-time favourite games. There is a sequel to this. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I am planning on getting the sequel to this game one day. And I'm pretty sure this game is actually a PS2 exclusive. I could be wrong, but I think it is anyway. But yeah, I guess that's about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.